In the workshop, on the wall, we've got the spirit levels. As you can see, there's no gaps. They're all hanging correctly. We have 2 meter levels. We have 1200 levels. We have 1 meter levels. And we have 600 mil levels. The one that I would recommend to you is the 1 meter level, which is there in the centre. That's all you'll ever need. All the tools hanging up, everything should be clean. These are not clean. They need to be clean. Tape measures. Goggles here, if you're cutting bricks you need to use goggles. We also have 1 chariot which you can use to rake out your mortar joints. This is how the tools need to look. They need to be cleaned before they get hung back up on the wall. On the other tool wall we have the builder's square, the boat levels and the pointing trowels. You can use a pointing trowel like this to create weather-struck jointing on your brickwork. Occasionally you may need to use a boat level just to level up one brick. For example, a brick soldier you might want to use a boat level on because they're very easy to use and very small. Once you have used your builder's square, you put it back up here. There's only 3 of them. You only need it for a few minutes. And then you can carry on with your work and put it back. Again, these are not washed, look. They need to be washed. The brick gauge that you need to use is on the wall in several places around the workshop. It tells you that 1 course should be 75 mil high, 2 courses at 150, etc. The information is there for you. Really, you should memorise these numbers. We also have in the workshop this barrier cream which you can use before you start work. When you set up your work area you need 2 stacks of bricks each side of your spot board, and the spot board needs to be 600 millimeters from the job. As you can see here, .600, and that gives you enough space to walk up and down here to build your brickwork. This is where the wheelbarrows go. They need to be stacked like this, so they need to be emptied in order to be stacked. Brooms and shovels this side. Buckets need to be stacked here, they need to be empty. That's not empty. If you see bricks stacked like this, it looks very unprofessional. So you should spend a little bit of time tidying it up. Outside the workshop we stack the spot boards behind the door. This is not a very neat stack. They need to be stacked nice and tidy, ready for the next group. We have usually 3 or 4 skips. This skip on the end is just for bricks. There should be no mortar thrown in there, just bricks. The reason for that is these broken pieces we can't use again. There shouldn't be any usable pieces in there. There should just be broken bits that we can't use. In these skips here there should be mortar with no contaminants. For example, no leaves, no bits of brick, no bottles, cans, rubbish. It should just be mortar that can be recycled. So this skip here, just sand. This skip here, just sand. Same again. This skip on the end, just bricks. But not half bricks, bits of brick we can't use again. Rubbish. As you can see, none of that can be used again. Over in the mill area we have some mortar that's being recycled. There's 2 tubs here ready to go into the mixer. The mixer has a conveyor belt on it. This is the conveyor. It takes the mortar up to the top to this drum. It goes into this drum up here. And there's two wheels, there's two big mill wheels that actually turn and produce a really nice mortar, as you can see inside there. What we don't want is any bits of brick inside that drum, because the wheels, those wheels do not turn with bits of brick underneath them. The mortar will then be poured out of this hopper at the bottom into a tub. Again, this is an area where you shouldn't be as a student, because somebody should mix the mortar and prepare it for you in advance. It's always good to recycle the mortar. We don't really want to use new sand if we can reuse the stuff that is perfectly fine. We can use this, may have a few lumps in it which the mixer can deal with, but there's no bits of brick in here. If there are bits of brick in there, it presents a problem for the mixer. Just going to show you how to cut a brick using a hammer and bolster. The bolster's got a hand protection sleeve on it. First thing to do is tap the brick, and you should get this nice hollow sound to it. That tells us it's a good brick. We don't really want to start cutting a brick that has a crack in it, because it won't cut in the right place. So we don't need to hit it hard. Gentle taps, keep turning. Where people go wrong with this is they tend to hit too hard and they try and cut it too quickly. You must take your time. May have turned it 3 times already. Typical count is about 4 turns. Very frustrating to break a brick in the wrong place and then you throw it away, then you cut another one, then you throw that one away, then you cut another one. If you take your time, you should get a good cut like that, and there's your 2 pieces of brick.